Hi, Sandeep.
Yes. Yes. Hi, Suresh. How are you doing?
Fantastic, sir.
Welcome back.
Online or to Mumbai?
Well, no, not Mumbai. Welcome back online.
Absolutely.
So,
It doesn't matter where one is, right?
yeah, now it's so strange. It's like I was because of this remote working. A lot of people are working from home. So when they are out, and sometimes you tell them that I sent you a mail, and the person says instead of saying I'll go to the office and check. Now the reply you get is I'll go home and check. So,
Correct.
so
Correct.
you start hearing that a lot. So, yeah.
They
Okay.
always want to buy
So.
some extra time to go and check, right? They don't want to check it right now.
Yes,
Though it's there
Earlier,
on the
earlier,
hand.
it used to be, earlier it used to be like this, that when people are saying that in the middle of the day I'm going home, you're like, are you okay? Are you fine? You're going home in the middle of the day. Now it's like you're going home, okay, that's a big deal. So,
Part of life. That's
yeah.
the newness which keeps coming. Sales is like that, right? Hamisha something new, spectacular.
Talking of something new, we haven't done the video. Oh, okay, let me play the video. Hang on.
Sandeep, how
Here
can
it
you
comes.
miss it? You are the ultimate
Yeah.
perfectionist.
Yes, there is a reason why the video is not in today, but we will show it to you right now. There you go.
You're going to something new. Suspense for me.
Yes.
Wow. I got mesmerized looking at the value add that we are planning to give to the SMEs.
Yeah, so I just thought, because every time we start off the show, sometimes, people don't know what the show is all about. So instead of us, trying and saying that this is what we're going to do, so that's the video and that tells you what we're going to do.
Okay, so
Okay,
Sandeep,
so
just a minute before I start off, there are messages coming to me saying, please send us the link of the show. So I just want to tell everybody it's Facebook/Value Additions. Sandeep would probably have it here.
Facebook.com/ValueAdditions. But
Yeah, that's
the
where you
funny
log
part
in.
is, if they're already seeing us, then they're already watching. Okay, so, so they need to probably get the message somewhere else, maybe on
Yes,
WhatsApp or something.
yes.
Yeah.
I'll do that
Okay,
when we
so
have
let us introduce our guest.
Yes, so here is somebody, and this is the most unlikeliest of salespeople, a NASCOM Innovation Award winner. And look at the terminology I'm going to use, okay? Business concept understanding, design thinker, partner ecosystem, business model versus revenue model. These are all unsales like language, right? Somebody who's sorted, somebody who's worked in India, the Gulf, the Middle East, which is of course expansive of Gulf, Europe and the US. Somebody who has worked extensively in hardcore technology across various landscapes, across so many domains from government to education to technology and all of that. Somebody who's made sales in a very sure, self-assured manner. None other than the person who really manifests sales in a totally different anti-sales way. Here is Srikumar Narayan, Sandeep.
Yes, Srikumar, welcome.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
Thanks,
Srikumar.
Suresh, for the wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah.
My earliest memories of this, how can a sales guy be so sorted and aram se, talking to the point, no extra thing? It's not possible. The computer science guy, the marketing management guru, focused on really deep dive, somebody who made me understand the value of information capture, campaign sheet, how to get information first from the prospect and then start following to the prospect. Amazing times. Those dates have been 10, 12, 15 years back. It's a pleasure to have you on board, Srikumar. Sandeep,
Yeah.
you guys are familiars now, so you have a slightly bonding time.
No. The thing is, as most programs are now, everybody's at a different location. I'm in Bangalore, you're in Mumbai, and Srikumar, where are you? Tell us where you are.
Today I am in Tirupati in camp. So returning after some business
Wow.
meeting as well as pilgrimage. So both.
Wow.
5 days,
Pilgrimage.
5 days ago, he was in Panipat. I said, "Are you in the Battle of Panipat?"
Yeah. Okay. No, so very nice to have you on the program, Sri. And before we start, can you give us a very brief, overview about your sales career in terms of, products and markets?
Sure. Thanks, Suresh, for I don't know whether I deserve all the bells and whistles you added, but I we continue to sell. So it's feet on the ground, finger on the keyboard. So with that, I would thank you. And then, so basically, we started off as a programmer and doing development. And I don't know whether anybody gets into sales by choice. So it is a situation, and then unknowingly we become like we start selling. So that's how basically my sales career also started. So we don't, nobody wants to be called as a sales. So I'm one of them, and now I'm proud to be saying that ultimately, if you want to see results, one has to be selling. So started off early, almost 86. I started my career in technology, but by 94, 95, knowingly or unknowingly, I was selling. So it was hardware, then systems, software in India, then started with APAC neighborhood, then moved to UK, US, and so on. So it's been, then we retrofitted into formal sales framework, 5P, marketing, all those things came later. So
Right.
ultimately, it has been almost, if I recollect, it's more than 25 years.
Absolutely. And so a
Wow.
quarter of a century almost, and finger on the keyboard, feet on ground, amazing combination. Exactly what you are. Be on the move, give the proposal,
And
give the, yeah, Sandeep?
and also different geographies.
Yeah,
Okay, that,
absolutely.
that makes a big difference, because
Absolutely.
sales is very different in different countries, so
Yes.
to be able to adapt and do that, that's awesome. Yeah.
You mentioned about
Okay, so
clarity, and one gets into accident into sales, and then clarity dawns. So that could be the first tip, right? Clarity
so
dawning.
so we are looking forward to hearing the tips now. Let's just move straight away to that. Sri, are you ready? And I will just show the slide. Okay,
Sure.
so it
Yeah.
goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, here it
Uh,
is.
yeah. We basically we embark before defining whatever be the business one is in. Then look at why does the business exist or why does the enterprise exist, be it a product or a service, SME or big or large, and then start with the problem in mind. What is the purpose? What problem are we trying to solve? And then move on to defining what. Yeah. So what options or alternate are we offering our customers? And how do we differentiate from the competition? So is there enough clarity in terms of the problem we solve, the people, the audience we are trying to address, the messaging, is it being heard? Is the problem acceptable, valid, and so on? I'll take an example of the toothpaste from basically mankind. I know that some our ancestors were not brushing. At some point in our own evolution, I think toothpaste became a product. So then today, if you look at the journey, how toothpaste or brush has become part of our hygiene routine, and then it's a habit. And if you don't brush, it is unhygienic, and it's seen as a social this one. So the product variants are age-based, gender-based products, color, red, blue, green, whatever, white. Then we have gender-based kid, elders, and different products. And then you also have now additives like it's a charcoal, or we have clove, so many things. So basically, basically being sold as something which was non-existent became a habit, and today there are variants which is being done, but there is clarity in terms of what the product for which segment and what messaging. But ultimately, if you look at it, the we don't. nobody talks about. When you talk about clarity of purpose, we need to see that we're not talking about the taste or the color. We are saying what the shining of the teeth. You can do a better smile, or your gums will not bleed, or you have a better longevity with your tooth. So, what we tend to do is when we define a product, when we do get into selling, we start talking about our product. Our paste is great, our color is good, and so on. But we fail to tell the outcome. So, what a good paste is
Yeah.
going to do, or brushing is going to do. So, I think that is very important. So, basically, when we talk about clarity of purpose, so we need to know what it is going to deliver than talking about the product. So that
Absolutely.
is
Got you. So that's always about talking of the benefits first and feature later on. Feature is incidental. And like the topic for today, and hi, wonderful entrepreneurs. I won't call you all MSMEs. They're all growing organizations, the wheel that will move the nation. It is fascinating to talk to somebody who's been in sales in such a absolute, like Sandeep says, no gyan, only tips. So it's amazing that conversations can lead to conversions, and conversations need not be a bhashan, can be specific objective of getting the information from the prospect, right, Srikumar? It's very
yeah,
important to get the
absolutely.
clarity of purpose communicated so as to understand the need or the demand of the prospect, right? I mean, that's very important to catch very early in the sales
Yeah,
cycle.
so yeah, a lot of people have difficulty in doing that. I have noticed that even companies that people who have been in business for long, as you rightly said, the clarity of purpose, basically is the why. So why are you actually doing this? If it's a product or a service, or why are you in this business? Why are you in this industry? And I think companies need to, and individuals and entrepreneurs need to figure out why it is that they are bringing this, and why is it that their product or service is really important. I think that clarity of purpose, when that comes, that becomes a lot more simpler to then do the rest of the stuff. So it's a
Yes.
very, very
Absolutely.
valid point. Yeah.
The authenticity comes out, flows out, right, Mr.
Yeah.
Srikumar?
Yeah, absolutely. I have some brands which have done it very well, and they have category leaders when we look at how the problem which never existed has been articulated and solved very well. So there are products like Maggie. Maggie is a very Nestle. It's a multinational. And the way they've adapted the product for identifying a problem, then defining that outcome. It's a 2-minute noodle. That's a good way of defining a product. Similarly,
Right.
Amul, I would say, in a crowded, very unstructured marketplace, one good brand from India. So Amul is a great product. Parachute coconut oil. That's a great example. These are examples when we study deep. So what happens is when you define the problem well and the clarity of purpose, you can look at volume and as well as margins. So generally we start talking about cost. We talk about we are not able to sell more. So the clarity ensures that you are able to sell more as well as profitable. So these are good
I know.
examples.
Got you. So I know we have to cover more ground and tips, but this is fascinating. I'm going to take one more minute on this topic because it's important to get
Yeah,
the why right. So, Mr.
right.
Srikuman, brands, are the brands the ones who communicate this very well? Even a SME or a MSME, a smaller organization, can they do the same thing? Can they also communicate the clarity of purpose, or is it only the privilege of the brand? Some SMEs think brand hai to kar rahe hain. We are not a brand, we are a category. Can we do the same thing of communicating the importance of the why of the product or the service?
In principle, yes, and we have in our closure the profitable, predictable result. We touch upon where the economy today, whether it is an SME or a large company, the differentiation in a digital world is all level. There is no, it's a level playing field. There is no entry barrier, whether it's an MNC or definitely a brand holds good, but we have moved from demand to uh, abundance. So in that context, I think the messaging clarity is more important. The size doesn't matter.
Okay, very interesting. Yes, so we move on to I think the steps of more wisdom coming our way. We go to the next tip for the day, right, Sandeep?
Sure.
That's
So
interesting.
what? Yeah. So basically, we need to have a new lens to look at our customer, or whom we are trying to sell, or whose problem we are trying to solve. So we could lower 50,000 feet at a sector or a country, then look at a specific geographical region or a area, then a specific industry within that, a specific account and a specific process or a role to solve a pain. So that gives us the context. Whose problem, at what scale, what level. So, uh, so we draw the boundary or map saying that this is where we are looking. So whether it's a sector, region, industry, account, process, and ultimately to which role, organization role, or whose problem we are solving. So when we come to that level, it will be the person eventually whom we have to connect with. The context, the background, the chain, value chain can be analyzed, profiled, but still we need to connect with one individual or a team. There's a human being whom we need to connect to the context. So that is very important. While we do the why, as we move, who is the person, who is the human being whom we are going to solve for or message to. So that is the second important.
Yeah.
So
So it's like saying, why are you doing this, and the next thing, as you rightly said, is who, in terms of defining your typical customer, defining your target audience, so that you're not just going after random people, or probably spreading your resources thin. So what you really need to do is to make sure that you know exactly who is your customer and who is the one who would probably benefit the most from your product or service. So from that
Also, another thing
perspective,
which I always think about, and in between, I'm like sandwiched between the grace of two fantastic salespeople. I can't get
oh, we
enough.
can change that. Okay. There you
No, no,
go.
no. That's
That's
technology
not a
guru.
problem.
Got you. So I'm now on the sidelines of two technology gurus from being the
Hey, come
sandwich.
on. You're damned if you do and damned if you don't.
So, so I was telling about this, Srikumar, that so many times people say, "Are you in B2B or B2C?" But it's always the fact, right, that B2C is always embedded in the B2B, right? Ultimately, it is that one decision maker or a human you connect to, but by and large, that makes the impact, right?
absolutely,
Yeah,
yeah.
so it's
So
at
that
the end of the day, even if you're selling and you're doing a B2B, eventually your customer is going to bring value to his or her customer, which is at the end of the day, it is a B2C. So
Right.
so unless we are thinking in
absolutely,
terms of how our customer will service, their customers,
Yes.
who may be B2C, I don't
Right.
think we are actually, doing justice. So,
Correct.
so
Correct.
from that perspective, the lines between B2B and B2C sometimes are, very blurred.
Yes. So hi,
yeah.
hi,
The
wonderful
blurring,
friends. Yeah, Srikumar, over to
yeah,
you.
yeah. So the blurring line will start with in terms of the behavior analysis, yeah, in terms of consumer behavior, what kind of practices, habits they have, and in the context of a B2B, it will change because the buyer, influencer, decision maker, user, they are all different, but they are all people, they are all human beings. So the
Yeah.
behavior in the context of a business or behavior in the context of a lifestyle, I think that is all to change at the behavior modeling level. But otherwise, the messaging, the problem, the process, what one goes through, the same. The next is connecting when we talk about the context. Context, when we start looking at conversation, basic conversations are where we are able to get past the first 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, or a minute. So the conversations are tools which helps you build trust and helps you understand more, listen more, and understand to address and solve some of the problems to result in sales. So looking at both the medium, whether it is a digital medium or an in-person medium, there are techniques which we use, and the understanding to develop an understanding and then be able to develop conversations in person or to digital medium is very important. So, for example, I would take a couple of brands, Kia Motors as well as BMW. So Kia, in the last 1 year, the pandemic, we all read that they are able to sell more online. So car is a product. When we all believe that car cannot be sold, we have to be go touch and feel, drive and experience, visit a showroom, then only it can be sold. So that is the first thing where they have is proved and they're able to sell online. They believe that. Similarly, BMW believes that the car showroom salesperson will not be able to communicate the features of a product well to my customer, or may not be able to uh, position the product well, communicate the product well. So digital channel can do it, substitute it, or complement it better. So now products which are hard sold with touch and feel have moved to delivering an experience at scale. So whether in person or in scale, what is important is to analyze the context and then digitize, because digital is a big tool to be able to create a context. So you are able to work at a large level, at a large market. The tools are available for both SME or an individual entrepreneur or large. So there is another. So that is a
And
important
add
part
to
of the
here,
context.
important point, and add to this, finish the conversation, and we have approximately 9 minutes to get into the end of this last minute of the
Yeah.
show. But it's fascinating. When it's a conversation, is not necessarily a conversation of doing it in typical fashion. Whether it's digital, whether it is email, whether it is textual, whether it is speech, verbal. I think the important thing, what I get a sense, Mr. Srikumar, is the conversation of taking interest in the prospect, in the customer, being involved in the conversation, either in your own fashion. I mean, it may not be only articulated, one can be dialoguing. But it's important to keep the conversation alive, right, in whichever form, to
Yeah.
come to the point where the customer feels, so I have been uh, given importance, interest has been taken on me,
Yeah.
somebody is looking at what I want, right? It's so very
Yeah.
important.
So
It may not be
it yeah, it really flows from the previous point in terms of being able to identify who is the person, that who's the target audience, and then
dialogue.
having the right kind of conversation with that person. Now, whether the medium is actually when the person walks in the store or whether it's a
Yeah. So there, Sanjeev, I
digital
just
platform.
like to
Yeah.
add one very important, like a small incident, which can help us understand the trust of a medium. So this is one of the famous newsreaders. When he leaves home for his next news reading, his 8-year-old daughter says, Dad says, tomorrow there is no school, it's a holiday, and you can relax and you don't need to do your homework. The daughter says, no, Dad, nobody has, I will wait for you to see in the TV. So even at home, if there is the same news conveyed, the trust factor, if somebody says on the internet or in the TV, the kid believes. So the medium is the trust today.
Yes.
So if your website is, you don't have a website, they don't even have a website, or you have a great website, so somebody will believe. You might be in a bureau office, but the website, they trust. So the
Yep.
medium, trust, and conversations are shifted or across all channels. You need to develop the conversation as well as trust at every touch point. That's one of my
Very
important
fascinating.
factors.
Very important factor. And it's like, marketing always say marketing is a different ball game. Do marketing, sales will follow, and all of that. But I always believed in the B2B space, especially, that marketing is like an aura around sales. Every sales conversation has got a bit of marketing.
Yeah.
What is it called? What is it called? Nuska? Nahi. Butter marta hai, muska. Marketing muska over the sales, right? And that's what I get present to, isn't it so? We do a bit of
Yeah,
marketing also embedded into the sales shell. Very fascinating.
sure. Yeah,
And these small things make the
absolutely.
difference, right? Small things get the
Yeah,
big orders.
right. Yeah. So most important thing is, are we listening and sensing signals, whether it is competition, an account, or a customer? What are we seeing as trends, and where it is leading to? Are we listening? So that is an important thing to keep watching. So during conversation, so that we are able to adapt and align and able to move towards a closure. So we need to be listening more and at different touch points, so that we are able to converge to a positive outcome. Yeah. Next.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
yeah. So
Yes, Sandeep.
Yeah, so basically, this yeah, I really like the flow, Sri Kumar, because it's in terms of what is the purpose, who's the target audience, what are we saying, how are we saying it, and then not only are we saying, are we listening? Because as you rightly
right.
said, it's a conversation. Conversation means it needs to go both ways, back and forth. So is it actually going back and forth, or is it typically a lot of people think that sales and marketing is it's a one way. It's like a radio, it's a one way blast. but it's just like a broadcast. But you rightly said, so are we getting, are we able to get that kind of feedback from the conversation, from the engagement? There are some signals that are coming in. So are we receptive to that, or are we, just ignoring those? So very, very valid point.
Yeah.
And
So
as you said, signals, one thing comes out very vividly in my experiences is not only of listening to, it's listening for, especially in a
right.
major account landscape. There are 5 people telling us the same thing, but each of them means something different, which can actually break or make the deal. Right? I mean, sensing of signals is so very important from a sales capability point of view.
Right. Yeah. So the way to look at it is, if you see as a triangle where we have relationships, where through conversations or online or digital medium or in physical, we have relationships. The moment you have relationships, you can get insight through conversation, through known people. We can listen to them saying that what is the need, what is the problem, what is the pain.
That's right.
So once we have the insight, then we could position a right product that which create value. So if you take a stool of 3 legs, the relationship, insight, and a product, in between you can create the money. But 2 out of these 3 should be there. So if you don't have a relationship, I have the right product and I have insight that this person might have a headache, I can then go and build a relationship. I know that you have a headache, I have Saridon. Do you want to buy? Similarly, you
Yes.
have Saridon, you have a relationship. I can go and find, hey, anybody having headache. So this framework will help you to navigate to, but 2 out of the 3 is a must. So and so that is another important thing to move towards a predictable outcome. Otherwise, there'll be quite an amount of waste created, and as I said, it's not a demand-driven, scarcity-driven market or an economy. It is an economy where everything is in abundance and available 24/7. So that in that context, I think we need predictable cash flows and be able to predict the long.
So, in terms of you mentioned predictable long term, it's important to take a holistic and a long term view of the entire sales cycle. It might be one deal which I'm getting now, but I need to look at that like a test match play, right? So important.
Yeah.
When I go back to the first thing that you said, that people get into sales accidentally, so there is always this feeling that I got into it accidentally, so I'm just doing it because nothing else to do. And like that, a month, a year, and a decade passes by, and then you are actually doing everything short term. So one has to really be comfortable, get into the flow, get into the entire journey, and just be like a wonderful classical singer. Render it, right? Render it fluently.
Yeah, Suresh,
And you
I've
remind me of the
also seen,
classical singer, by the way.
including myself, at some
Yeah.
point when we have said, suppose there is a person who goes and installs a product in the customer side, and he keeps doing that. He would have gone from the factory to go and install the product to a customer. So slowly he will start doing some maintenance or customer calls. Then they say, he's not a good factory person. Let us put him on sales. So our approach to the hiring or deploying a person for sales itself is slightly underweight, underestimated, and say somebody who's not valued somewhere, we say take him and put him in sales. So I think that is a hyper mindset.
That's pretty dangerous, because it's primarily, a company gets driven by the revenues that it brings in. Of course, in terms of making it profitable is a different story altogether. But primarily, the growth of the company. When we say growth, we are talking pure sales numbers to begin with. So we are not looking at the valuation aspect.
So I
But
think
when you talk of companies growing, they're talking of growing of sales. So the most critical aspect of that is something where we lack, as you rightly said, in terms of hiring capabilities. We really don't know what we are hiring for when we hire salespeople.
absolutely. Yeah.
So
Okay,
that's
there are a few questions that have come in.
Sure.
And I will just put them on screen. Okay, so yeah. It says, do you involve stakeholders in conversation stage or in conversion stage? That's from Siva.
Shiva seems to be
Yeah,
a sales guy who's gone into it for a lot of purpose, not an accidental sales guy. Shiva,
so
over to you, Shiva.
I think at every stage we need calibration from different stakeholders as well as the decision makers. I think throughout the journey, we need to be consulting with all possible pillars.
It's like in sales we also say that you probably need to be able to figure out a trial close multiple times during the
Yes,
sales. And it's not just that you build the whole thing up to the sales, because you need the trial close will probably tell you where are the objections, and then you go about actually trying to do the conversion.
right.
And I want to add to this what the two experts have said to Shiva, that you keep doing conversations effectively. And you know what? The stakeholders one by one will get sucked into you and they will be there in front of you. And when you go for the close, for the conversion, you'll find all the stakeholders there and that conversation will get you the order. Make
Okay,
sure that you understood well.
I think we've just about finished our time, but there's a gentleman who's your classmate who has commented over here. I'm going to put it up on screen. There you go.
Oh,
Rajan meets Srikumar.
It's happy to see his classmate. So I
okay.
guess
Sure.
we're reaching out to a lot of people. Yeah.
Right.
Thank you, Sandeep. So we are in the last few seconds of closing it. So all the business owners, what did our expert Srikumar says? Thank you, Srikumar, for making the sense to business owners. Do make sure that you get your sales team properly qualified, properly assessed, not make it an accidental salesperson coming into the flow. And that's so very important as SMEs look at growing purely because of sales power. Right, sir?
And
Yeah,
if you have
awesome.
and if anyone has any questions, further questions, even after the show is over, there is the email ID which is up on screen. You can please feel free to send an email over there with your query, and we'll be happy to pass it on to Srikumar for his comments. Right?
Any,
Okay,
yeah.
so I guess that's just about it. And Srikumar, final words from you.
Yeah.
No, I think it's a fun career. It's fun to be selling. It's a mind game, and there's a lot more to be achieved. I think people are not preparing, not leveraging the tools and resources available, rather than living with the problems of not able to sell the product or not able to increase the profitability or growth. And sales is a good tool. Whatever be the strategy, eventually it has to be sold. So that is with that happy selling. That's the only thing I.
Fantastic.
Awesome. Fantastic. Thank you very much,
Thanks.
Sri. Thank
Thanks
you,
a lot.
Suresh.
Thanks.
Okay,
Thank you.
stay online. I'll just end the broadcast. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Sandeep.
Sure.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.